Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Wiz back again with another video. This is my first video since finally hitting 1,000 subscribers. That's hella dope. If you are subscribed to my channel, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate it. You know, I started YouTube back in 2018, January like 17th, 2018. And no, I'm not too consistent making videos. I'm all over the place with my content sometimes. But just to see that, 4 years later, I finally hit 1,000 subscribers, kind of just still dabbling 4 years later. It's just, it's kind of amazing. It really motivates me to want to get more into it. So I just whipped out the camera real quick. I'm actually waiting for my wife. She's inside the store. So I just really wanted to speak on kind of like a follow-up to a video I posted a few videos ago in reference to my relationship with my diet as it pertains to like me feeling like I eat too much meat and just wanting to dabble more into like the vegetarian way of eating, not necessarily vegan, but just like kind of falling back off of the meat and really just, trying to get other sources of protein, mainly from like vegetarian sources. If this is your first time seeing my video, I know you're probably thinking like, this guy's a bodybuilder. Like, yes, I did compete in men's physique in 2019. I'm actually going to try to run that thing back this year. So if you're into that, if you want to see a whole contest prep, go ahead and subscribe for that content that's coming. So to sum it up, in that video I made about me speaking about my relationship with my dad, like I said, I was just tired of all the meat I was consuming on a daily basis. And what I did was around the end of October all the way until like pretty much the end of December, like literally the end of December, like New Year's, I had not eaten any meat for about 2 months. Now, I actually did this before back in 2019 where I didn't eat meat for roughly like 30 days. But this time around, like I really did not eat meat for 2 whole months. And I did this for a couple reasons. I really wanted to see if I just eliminate meat out of my diet, how was I going to feel? How was my body going to respond? Was I going to like shrivel up, get skinny, lose muscle mass? And on that front, I must say, for the most part, my body really stayed the same. I would notice that, workouts in the gym provided me with the same pump. I would, of course, be fueling my body, refueling my body with different sources, but just overall, just the muscle mass, and I was kind of bulking as well. Like I was just eating untracked, and I was eating a lot more, of course, a lot more carbs. So to be honest, I really kind of felt good. I felt like I looked good. I was still like full. I didn't have no like sunken in face. I know I only did it for 2 months, but I didn't feel like if I would have continued to do it, that I would have like lost muscle mass or anything like that. Now, I did feel slightly different, and I think this is because like with protein, if you eat a high level of protein, you feel more satiated, especially when your like water intake is on point. Like I said, that whole way I was eating was kind of untracked, so I wasn't really like definitely hitting my 200 grams of protein like I like to hit, 200 plus grams of protein. I felt like what my body didn't show in my decreased protein consumption, I felt it as far as my hunger, because I did feel like I was at times not really like eating uncontrollably, but I just kind of just didn't feel as satisfied as my regular like bro type of diet would have me feel satisfied. So with all that being said, my main takeaway from dropping meat for the second time is I really feel like meat and just, meat consumption overall is not as bad as people think it is. And I'm gonna give my thoughts on this, and I really hope it comes out in the right way, because like I have a lot of thoughts behind just, people, humans, us eating meat, and kind of what people think it is and what they think it's not, and vice versa. And I just really, out of everything, like I said, I really just take away that the best dieting approach, period, like not even bodybuilder or cutting, bulking, the best dieting approach is a balanced diet overall. But I'll touch more on that later. As far as meat is concerned, I feel like when you really just think about, like if you do any type of research about humans and eating meat, it never really sat well with me. Like when you look up veganism and should you eat meat and blah, 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 that just as many arguments that you can find about not eating meat, you can find an equal amount of arguments, if not more, to support humans eating meat. And like I said, my thoughts really ran deep in this subject because it's something I'm passionate about, diet, nutrition, and I just want to know that, with the increased things going on and just other diseases, getting old, I'm in my mid-30s now, I want to make sure that I'm not like killing myself essentially eating so much meat and doing all these things. And like I said, when you research, you find conflicting things, and then you just kind of gotta go with what makes the most sense to you. And what makes the most sense to me as it pertains to us eating meat is that I feel like we were built to eat meat. I just feel like if we were not built to eat meat, our body wouldn't be able to handle it. But that goes back to the whole thing I say of like eating just everything balanced in moderation. They say too much of anything will kill you. And I feel like if you just eat all meat on some carnivore, like you're like a lion or something, it eventually will kill you because your body's not set up for that. But on the flip side, I feel like if you just eat all plants and plant-based stuff, I'm not saying it'll kill you, but I just feel like it's probably, or not even probably, it's definitely not as healthy as it seems. You'll be lacking essential vitamins and, just other things that meat provides. So it just doesn't make sense to cut either out like all the way for me. And I also think about human beings as just beings. Like, I feel like animals, if you look it up, there's a lot of animals, right? And I don't want to lose you, but there's a lot of animals and humans that share like 90+% of the same DNA. And the reason I bring that up is I just feel like the way that we were made by whatever type of higher intelligence that you believe in, I feel like we were made different to be able to do the things that we do in terms of hunting, preparing meat, learning about fire, cooking, and all that. At the end of the day, if lions or other carnivore animals were as advanced as we are, do you think that they wouldn't have us like in like human-sized skillets and be cooking us and have a whole operation of selling humans? And like how we do animals, you go in a grocery store, you see all the different animals, pretty much dead animals on the shelf. I feel like it's kind of like a survival of the fittest thing. Now, of course, if you did have like a lions, if they were like the supreme being like we are, of course you'll have some of them coming out like, don't eat humans and against it and all, just like how kind of like how the vegans are. So like when you really kind of sit back, and I know that's a funny example, but when you really kind of sit back and think about it, just think about the whole idea behind evolution and how that works. Whatever intelligent creator you believe in probably put us all here just knowing that we were going to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that the ability to make fire was going to be discovered. That obviously we can't cook raw meat. We can't eat raw meat. So we were going to have to learn that. Now, I'm glad that I wasn't part of the testing phase of finding out like what was good to eat. Because I'm pretty sure that was a disaster. But by the time, I'm born in 87, even long before that, all that's been figured out. You know what I mean? And I feel like as we're at a point right now, as it pertains to like diet, where we're starting to realize, again, back to moderation, that, okay, maybe too much meat or an overwhelming amount of meat more than other things isn't good enough. You know what I mean? Or if you don't want meat, you need to take these supplements. Because think about it. If we weren't supposed to eat meat at all these supplements that pretty much give you things like your vitamin B's, your zincs, and things that you're lacking when you don't eat meat, they weren't around years ago. So how would a vegan have sustained 1,000 years ago? So the main benefit I feel I got from cutting out meat from a short period of time is just the ability to really prepare different styles of meals that don't even have, animals, or animal products in them. I feel like in a way it made me like a more versatile like eater, cook or whatever you want to say. And I think that that's a good thing. But at the end of the day, like I feel like we as people, we feel some need to like claim a set, like, I'm vegan or I'm vegetarian or, I don't believe in this and I don't believe in that. And I don't really believe in nothing. I'm all about, for whatever goal I'm trying to do, what is the most optimal way to achieve this and what makes the most sense? Now, from a bodybuilder's perspective, like, I would not want to do no contest prep. I wouldn't want to do no prep, not eating any meat. Why? Because protein, like high protein, low fat animal food, chicken breast, turkey breast, you know, things like cod and stuff like that, those foods make dieting so easy, keeping your protein levels high, keeping your fat low, keeping your carbs low, or even if you want to go keto, you know, high fatty meats with some veggies or something. It makes it so easy. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but it would be hard as hell, at least for me, because the simplicity factor would be gone. It would be hard as hell to do a contest prep not eating any meat. Probably can do it. I probably may challenge myself and do that one day. Definitely not no time soon. It's probably possible, but it would not be fun because just macros will be all over the place. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe you can get away with some tofu and things like that, but then you know, I don't know how you feel about soy. It's just like every plant form of protein comes with more macros than just protein, like an overwhelming amount. Either it's going to be fatty or it's going to be, most likely it's going to be real carby. You know what I mean? And it's going to be processed. That's another thing that, as far as like with the vegan lifestyle, you know, it's like natural, this and that, but the overwhelming amount, the amount of vegan, like, especially protein sources, are hella processed. And I'm just like, well, people speak out against processed food, but like most vegan diets are trash. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about the way people eat is trash. And I'm just like I said, when I was doing it, I'm like, okay, yeah, it feels good. You know, no meat. I can sustain without meat. And it felt different. It felt cool at first. And then when I really started thinking about what I'm eating, I'm buying like Beyond Beef. One serving is like 14 grams of fat. Okay, not that bad. I think it was like 10 or 12 grams of carb. Okay, 20 grams of protein. But then it's like 500 milligrams of salt. I'm just like, God damn, like if I eat a double amount, that's like half my sodium from like one standalone meal. That's not really too cool. I drink a lot of water, but I'm just like, that's not good. And that's just that. When you eating other things and like the snacks, like I said, the vegan thing is not for me. But I do feel like if I ever am at the point where I'm annoyed with just constantly eating like meat and every day, then I know I can switch it up, you know, or I know that I can just always eat a balanced diet. I don't have to just feel like I overwhelmingly got to eat only meat. And I'm glad that I gave myself 2 months to know that I'm not going to shrink and I'm going to still be able to keep size. But overall, I feel like the way I was eating at first with just the meat is going to be the most optimal way for me to do any type of contest prep and to really prime my body and get it to look the way I want it to look. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and leave this video. And again, if you made it this far into the video, just remember that all this is just my opinion. It's not really science-based. It's not really anything based. What you just got is a collection of pretty much my trial and error, everything that I've researched, and just kind of like my own spin about what makes sense to me. So if you did enjoy this video and find any type of value in it, go ahead and smash like. Let's keep them subscribers running up. Finally hit a G. That's what's up. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Peace out, baby.